Hello everyone, welcome to session 1 of unit 4, that is Introduction to Python Programming of Statistics and Analytics Lab. Now let us quickly go through the course outcomes of this unit. At the end of this chapter, you should be able to run and install the Python interpreter, create and execute Python programs, understand the concepts of file input and output, able to read data from the text file using Python, learn variable declarations in Python, learn control structures of Python, and also learn the loop structures of Python. Now, in this session, we are going to have a brief introduction to Python. Also, we are going to learn about some syntaxes, comments, and data types and variables used in Python. Also, we are going to look at an experiment to convert decimal number into binary, octal, and hexadecimal form. Now, first of all, what we mean by programming. We know that we are all in digital world. Here, everything is automated or going to be automated. That means we can make anything happen in just one click. We click a button, the door opens. We click a button, we can make our AC run. And we click a button and we can pay our bills. We click a button, we get all the information of what's going on around the world, isn't it? Have we ever wondered how these things are happening? Our smartphones, our smart TVs, the computers, what we use, how these devices are making these things happen. Yes, that's the power of programming. These devices, like computers, are already programmed to do certain tasks. In the sense, they are already given instructions to perform certain tasks. These instructions are stored in these devices. And the instruction, the series of instructions, what we give to the computer or any device to perform certain tasks, you call it as programming. So programming is a way to instruct a computer to perform various tasks. Now, what is actually Python? ಈಗ ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರೂ ನಾವು ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಈ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡು ಅಂತ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ we need to communicate in that language which that person can understand, isn't it? ಅದೇ ತರ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರಿಗೆ ನೀವು ಈ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ you need to communicate to the computer in the language which it can understand. So the language in which we give instructions to the computer, you call it as programming language. There are many programming languages like Python, C, C++, Java, JavaScript, etc. But Python is the most familiar programming language, and it is the easiest programming language also. The syntaxes what we use in Python are similar to the English words, common English words what we use. Hence, they are easier to understand and easier to execute. So Python is a programming language that is often applied in scripting roles. A history of Python programming. Python programming language, was invented by a Dutch programmer, Guido van Rossum, in 1980s. He was a big fan of English comedy series called as Monty Python's Flying Circus. Hence, he named this program after this comedy series. Now, the scope of Python. Python is used in science field, system administrations, and web and other application developments, etc. Now, first of all, how we can install this Python in our PC. Let us quickly go through the steps. What you have to do is you just have to go to the official website of Python, that is python.org in your Google. If you click on that website, the latest version of Python will appear. You should click on that. And then the exe file of Python will be downloaded, and you just have to run that exe file to install Python in your PC. Along with Python, you need some libraries to work efficiently with Python. These libraries are the packages which have some inbuilt functions which eliminates the need of writing the codes from the scratch. So we can use the function which are already defined, which are already there in these libraries in our programs. So the important libraries what we need to install for Python are, one is NumPy. This is a library which is needed for scientific computing, and Pandas. This is the most popular library used in Python for data analysis, data handling, and data cleaning kind of purpose. Then SciPy is a software for mathematics and science and engineering computations. Then Matplotlib is a 2D plotting library which allows visualization of data for plotting graphs and all. We can use this library. Now, to install these libraries or the packages, you should install these libraries through command prompt using the Python library installer tool called pip. So to install, for example, if you want to install NumPy library, you should just go to command prompt and type pip install the name of the library NumPy and click enter. The library NumPy will be downloaded. So to install any library, you just have to type pip install in command prompt along with library name to install. So this is about the libraries of Python. There is another package of library which you can use it with Python, which is the Anaconda package, which is called as Anaconda package. Now, Anaconda is another popular Python distribution, particularly popular for data analysis and scientific computing. Now, this Anaconda comes with many pre-installed libraries, which include NumPy, SciPy, Matplotlib, Pandas, Jupyter, and many more. So if you install Anaconda, you don't have to install the other libraries individually. You just have to install Anaconda. That's it to work with Python. Now, now this is a website through which you can download Anaconda library package. Now let us just quickly see how we can install Python in our PC. Now to download Python, you just go to Google and type Python download. The official website of Python appears, that is python.org. You should click on that. When you click on the official website, the Python download window actually appears like this. Here you can see the latest version. If you want to see other versions, you can go to download and go to all releases. You can see all the versions which are released earlier, and you can choose a suitable one for your PC. Now for Windows 8 and later, you can download in Python 9.3.9. When you click on download, exe file will be downloaded. Then you'll have to open that exe file. Then you got to run that exe file to install Python in your desktop. So when you click, after you click run, you'll have to add a path. Click on the path there. Then you should click on install now. Now the Python is downloading. You just have to wait for a while. Then click on close. Python install ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಸರ್ಚ್ ಬಾರಿಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ PC ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ಚ್ ಬಾರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ Python ಅಂತ ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ Python ಅಪಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ. Python download ಆದ ನಂತರ we just have to install the libraries. So go to command prompt and type pip install library name. I'm typing pandas and click enter. Pandas library will be downloaded. Same way, if you want to install matplotlib, type pip install matplotlib and press enter. Matplotlib library will be downloaded. ಇದೇ ತರ ನೀವು ಉಳಿದ ಲೈಬ್ರರೀಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಂಪ್ಟ್ ಮೂಲಕ ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳಬಹುದು. Now let us just quickly go through the important things which we need to know before going to actually write the program. Python syntax can be executed by writing the commands directly in the command prompt or in the command line. So you just have to open the command prompt and type the syntax there. It will be executed in the command prompt itself. For example, this print is the function which is used to output the result or display the result. It will display whatever you ask it to display. Maybe it may be a string or it may be a value. If I give this command, print hello world, then the computer will display this string in its screen. So when you give this command and execute it, the result will be this. The computer will display the sentence what you have asked it to display, that is hello world. Now, writing the Python codes in the command prompt, it will not be so interactive. So Python has its own environment. We call it as integrated development environment to write the programs. So idle is the integrated development environment for Python, typically used on Windows. ಈಗ ನಾವು ವರ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಒಂದು ಹೊಸ ವಿಂಡೋ ಓಪನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ, ಎಡಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂಡ್ ಸೇವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ, ಅದೇ ತರ ಐಡಲ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಪೈಥಾನ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಎನ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ವೇರ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೈಪ್ ದ ಕೋಡ್ಸ್, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇವ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ execute them. This idle has special features like multi-window text editor. Then the syntax is what you write will be highlighted using different colors, auto completion and smart indent, and many more features. This idle also provides you Python shell and Python editor. That is, Python editor allows you to write the Python programs and run them, and Python shell allows you to execute the Python commands what you have written. So Python editor alli ನೀವು program codes ಅನ್ನು ಬರೆಯುವುದು, Python shell ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಬರೆದ codes ಅನ್ನು execute ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Now, one more thing, very important thing what you must know is the indentation in Python is very important. Indentation andre spacing. Indentation refers to the spaces at the beginning of the code line. Code line ಬರೆಯೋ ಮುಂಚೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ನೀವು ಬಿಡಬೇಕು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಇಂಡೆಂಟೇಶನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. Indentation is very important in Python. Indentation, Python uses indentation to indicate the block of a code. Particular set ಅನ್ನು separate ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ indentation use ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Block of codes, the set of codes ಅನ್ನು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ indentation use ಆಗ್ತದೆ. For example, say this is the block of codes. Andre if 7 is greater than 3, then you want the computer to display, to print this sentence, that is 7 is greater than 3. Andre 7 ಈ ನಂಬರ್ 3 ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಇದನ್ನು ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಈ ತರ ನೀವು ಕೋಡ್ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಏನನ್ನು ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ? It will display like this. Now you can see that when you have two code lines here, and the second code line is separated, is written with some space in the front. Indentation ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇವೆ ನಾವು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಫ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಈ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಈ ಕೋಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. So this is the block of code which go together, which are related. So illi now spacing kodbeku. What happens if you do not give the indentation? Python will give you an error if you skip the indentation. For example, ಈಗ ನೀವು code line ಅನ್ನು ಈ ತರ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ, if 7 is greater than 3, you want the computer to display in sentence that 7 is greater than 3. ಈ code line ಅನ್ನು ನೀವು ಈ ತರ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ, if you don't leave any space here, ಈ ತರ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ, spacing ಕೊಡದೆ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ, computer ನಿಮಗೆ error ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತದೆ. So indentation is very important. ಯಾವ code line ಬರೆಯುವಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಬಿಡಬೇಕು, ಯಾವಾಗ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಬಿಡಬೇಕು, when you should use the indentation, knowing that is very important in Python. Then the number of spaces you leave, it depends on the programmer, but there has to be at least one space. ಒಂದಾದ್ರೂ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕೂಡ ನೀವು ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, but every time you have to use the same number of spaces in the same block of code. Otherwise, again, the Python will give you error. Now, ಒಮ್ಮೆ ಎರಡು ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಕೋಡ್ಸ್ ಬರೆಯುವಾಗ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಎರಡು ಸ್ಪೇಸೇ ಬಿಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲದಿದ್ರೆ if there is change in the indentation, if there is change in the spacing, then again Python will give you error. For example, ಈ ತರ ಈಗ if 7 is greater than 3, I want to print these two sentences. ಒಂದು 7 is greater than 3 ಅಂತ sentence print ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಮತ್ತೆ yes ಅಂತ ಈ sentence display ಆಗಬೇಕು. Now look at the indentation here. Here the indentation space is only 1. Here the spacing is 2. So spacing ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಆಗಿದೆ, indentation is ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ differ ಆಗಿದೆ. So in this case, Python will give you error. You cannot execute this code what you have written. Okay, then comes comments in Python. Comments helidre, they are the non-executable statements. If you want to explain anything in between the program, you can use comments. So comments annu ನಾವು ಬರಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಈ non-executable comments annu ನಾವು hash symbol use ಮಾಡಿ ಬರಿಬೇಕು. The comments must start with hash symbol. Comments are used to explain the Python code, and they are used to make the code more readable. They are also used to prevent execution when testing code. Then multi-line comments. Single line comments use ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತಿಲ್ಲ. You can use multi-line comments in Python also, but there is no separate syntax for writing multi-line comments in Python. You can use hash symbol at the beginning of every line what you write to make it a multi-line comment. For example, like this, I've written 2 lines. You cannot use multiple comments in Python. These are 3 different lines. These are the comments. So each line will start with hash symbol. So prati multi-line comments ಬರಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಪ್ರತಿ ಲೈನ್ ಮುಂದಗಡೆ hash symbol ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. So these comments will not be executed by the Python, but only the comments, the code line what you write after that will be executed. For example, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಈ 3 ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಇನ್ ಜಾವಾ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇವೆ, ಇದು ಮಾತ್ರ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. So the result which is displayed on the computer screen will be only this. ಈ sentence ಮಾತ್ರ display ಆಗ್ತದೆ. These are the non-executable statements. Then another way to write comments in Python is to use multi-line strings by wrapping your comment inside a set of triple quotes. So ಏನ್ multi-line ಬರಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇದೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ, ಅದನ್ನು triple quotes ಒಳಗಡೆ wrap ಮಾಡಿ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ it will be considered as a comment in Python. So these texts are wrapped inside the triple quotes, so they are not executable. Only this is executed, and you can see the output. Next comes variables in Python. Variables are the containers for storing data values. You can assign any values to these variables. They may be numeric values or it may be a string which you can assign to a variable. ಈಗ variable name ಏನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೇವೆ, it can be a short name like X, Y or A, any letters, or you can have a descriptive name like age, car name, total volume, or sum, etc., etc. Now there are certain rules how you can construct variable name in Python. The first one is variable name can contain only alphanumeric characters and underscore. Letters A to Z ಮತ್ತೆ 0 to 9 numerics ಮತ್ತೆ underscore ಅನ್ನೋ special characters ಅನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾವು variable name construct ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Variable name must start with a letter or underscore. Variable name ಇದು starting ಅಲ್ಲಿ letter ಇರಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ underscore ಇರಬಹುದು. We cannot have a numeric in the beginning of a variable name. Variable name cannot start with a number. Then variable names are case sensitive. So if you write the variable names like this, age, small letters, ಮತ್ತೆ age, A capital, ಮತ್ತೆ age, all the letters are capital. If you, these three words will represent three different variable names because they are constructed using different cases of letters. Next, Python number variable can be created by the standard Python method. That is, you just have to assign a value to the variable. For example, A is equal to 10 ಅಂತ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಆ 10 ಅನ್ನೋ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ A ಗೆ assign ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Then throughout the program, instead of using 10, you can use the variable name A wherever you want to use 10. Same way, if you want to create a string variable, then that text must be written within a single quote or double quote or triple quote and should be assigned to the variable. For example, like this, A is equal to, within the double quote, if you write I am good, this string will be assigned to variable A. Then see, these are the different ways how you can write variable names in Python. You can use underscores and letters, characters ranging from A to Z in small case or uppercase. The variable names can start with underscore, it can start with letter, but it cannot start with numerics. But numerics you can use anywhere in between in the variable names. So my variable is equal to Python ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. So Python ಅನ್ನೋ string ಈ variable ಗೆ assign ಆಗಿದೆ. So when you give print myvar, then computer will display the string which is assigned to this Python ಅಂತ display ಆಗ್ತದೆ. So you can see in this. Then Python allows you to assign values to multiple variables in one line. ಒಂದೇ ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ತುಂಬಾ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಅದೇ ತರ Python allows you to assign the same value to multiple variable. ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಗೆ ಒಂದೇ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅನ್ನು ಅಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೂಡ Python allow ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. For example, like this. If you write x, y, z is equal to these three strings separated by commas, then mango will be assigned to x, banana will be assigned to y, apple will be assigned to z. So when you give the command print X, print Y, print Z, the computer will display mango, banana, apple respectively like this. Same way. ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಮೂರು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ನೇಮ್ಗೆ ಒಂದೇ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅನ್ನು ಅಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ನಾವು ಈ ತರ a is equal to b is equal to c is equal to string apple. String ಅಂತ ಹೇಗೆ ಹೇಳೋದು? It is wrapped within the double quote. So when you give print a, print b, print c, the values of a, b, c are printed. A is also apple, b is also apple, c is also apple. So 3 times apple will be printed, displayed. Then data types in Python. Variables, we have seen that we can assign any values to variables. Variables act like data storages. Variables can store data of different types, and different types of data can do different things. Now, what are the inbuilt data types of Python? Python has these many types of data: text type, numeric type. In numeric type, there are integers, there are floating numbers, that means the numbers involving decimal point, and complex numbers. Then sequence type, mapping type, set type, Boolean type, and binary type of data. Now, you can get the type of data that you're using this function, type function. So, ಯಾವುದೇ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅನ್ನು ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಗೆ ಅಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿರುವ ಯಾವುದೇ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಯಾವ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಟೈಪ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, see, I'm assigning value 20 to x. So I want to know the data type of this. This is an integer. So when I ask the computer to display the type of data type of this, it should display actually integer, isn't it? So which function I can use to do that? I can use type function. So here again, I use my type function. So I should ask the computer to display and the print the type of x. So this is the command line I should give. Then the computer should display what? Type of 20, x and 20. 20 is an integer and the display agbeku. So the output what we see will be this. So when you write this code and execute this, type of this data will be displayed. That is, in this case, it is integer type. ಅದೇ ತರ ನಾನು x ಗೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಅನ್ನು ಅಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಇದು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. hello world will be displayed. Then below that I want to display the type of this. This is a string variable, character. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ string ಅಂತ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು when I ask for the type. So my command line will be print, that means display the type of x. So what should be the output? It says, the computer says that the variable x belongs to string data type. So this is how we can know the data type of the variables or the values. Next comes Python input and output function. How can we input values and display the values, output the results in Python? Now, print statement is often used to output the variables, output the values, or display the result. Also, input function, here you can see the input function. This function allows user input, means through this function we can allow the user to input the value or the data what he or she wants. Next, there are certain other operations which you can do through your program. That is to combine both text and variables. For that, you can use plus character. If you want to combine the text and a variable, you can use plus character. Also, to add the two characters, you can use plus symbol. And in case of numbers, using plus sign will give you the sum of the numbers. And these output and user output and input functions are always written in lowercase. Now, almost all the keywords or almost all the functions in Python are written in lowercase. This we must remember. Now, to suppose we want to write a small program where we are going to add two numbers. How we can write it in Python? Let us see. Now, to add the two numbers, first we must enter the numbers, right? So we need to input the numbers, input the two numbers. Then we are going to find the sum. Then lastly, we are going to display the result. So what we do is, first, in num1, this is a variable name. This is a command line or the code line what we should write. Num1 is equal to int bracket input bracket. Here you should write the prompt string. Means this doesn't have to do anything with the command, but this is the sentence what you want to display on the computer screen when the computer prompts the user to input the value. So user ಏನು input ಮಾಡಬೇಕು value ಅನ್ನು, ಆಗ ಏನು sentence display ಆಗಬೇಕು ಯೂಸರ್ಗೆ ಕಾಣುವ ಹಾಗೆ ಆ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಪ್ರಾಂಪ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೆಯುವುದು. ಸೊ ನೀವು ನಂಬರ್ 1 ಈ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಗೆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅನ್ನು ಅಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಯೂಸರ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳುವಾಗ this sentence will be displayed, and reading this sentence the user will input certain number. So we are inputting certain value to this variable, and we want it the computer or the Python to consider it as an integer so that the sum operation is performed. So we'll have to write integer anta illi baribeku. Integer type agi consider ಮಾಡಬೇಕು variable value ಅನ್ನು value enter ಮಾಡಿದನು ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ int ಅಂತ insert ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. Same way we should ask the user to input another number because we are adding two numbers. So same way we'll have to consider another variable number 2 anta ಹೆಸರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇವೆ is equal to integer type iddu, and within the bracket you should write input enter second number. Then after inputting the two numbers, we should add the numbers, and the sum is assigned to another variable x. So ಈ ಎರಡು numbers ಇದು sum ಈ x variable ಅಲ್ಲಿ store ಆಗಿದೆ. So display ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಈ x ಅನ್ನು display ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ the sum will be displayed, right? So if this is the code line what we should write. So when you execute this, this is what will be displayed on the computer screen. The computer will prompt to enter the first number to the user. User will enter one number. Then after entering the first number, the computer will prompt to the user to enter the second number. He enters the second number. After he enters both the numbers, the computer calculates the sum and displays this. Same way, ಎರಡು strings ಅನ್ನು add ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ನಾವು ಎರಡು strings ಅನ್ನು first input ಮಾಡಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ? So one variable ಗೆ ಒಂದು string ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು assign ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ Python is. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಗೆ awesome ಅಂತ assign ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಎರಡು ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಇದು sum, ಎರಡು string ಇದು sum. So that means this string and this string should be combined. So when you combine, it will be Python is awesome. So x plus y ಏನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ? Python is awesome ಅಂತ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. That will be stored in Z, and when you give print Z, the whatever value is assigned to Z, that will be displayed. Z ಅಲ್ಲಿ assign ಆಗಿರೋ value ಯಾವುದು? Sum of these two string ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಈ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಇದ್ದು ಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್. ಪೈಥಾನ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಸಮ್ ಅಂತ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇವ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಗಿವ್ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ z, ಪೈಥಾನ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಸಮ್ ಅಂತ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಗೆಟ್. Now let us quickly go through an experiment to convert a decimal number into binary, octal and hexadecimal form. Now before going to writing the codes, let us just see what are these number systems. Decimal number system is the most familiar number system which we all use. This uses the base 10 and it has 10 symbols from 0 to 9, and all the other numbers are written in terms of these. And the binary number system is the most familiar number system in digital systems, networking and computer professionals. And this uses the base 2 and has symbols 0 and 1. The other numbers are written as the combinations of 0 and 1. Now let us just see how we can convert a decimal number into binary form. To convert, what we have to do is, you just have to take the decimal number and divide by 2. Because the base is 2, you just have to divide by 2. Then note down the quotient and the remainder. These steps you must go on repeating till the quotient what you get is 0. Then at the end, you take all the remainders that you have got so far and write them in the reverse order. The combination of remainders what you get represents your decimal number. So for example, if you want to convert 12 into binary form, you'll have to divide 12 by 2. When you divide 12 by 2, 6 is the quotient, 0 is the remainder. Then again you divide this 6 by 2, then 3 is the quotient, 0 is the remainder. Again you divide 3 by 2, then 1 is the quotient, 1 is the remainder. Again you divide this last quotient by 2. When you divide 1 by 2, you cannot divide 1 by 2. So quotient is 0 and the remainder will be 1. So you'll have to stop the process now. I told you that you can continue dividing by 2 only till the quotient what you have is non-zero. So once you get 0, you'll have to stop. Then you consider all the remainders. These are the remainders that you have noted down. So you'll have to arrange in the reverse order from bottom to top. So 1, 1, 0, 1. This number will represent 12 in binary number system. So RL or 1100 is a binary form of the decimal number 12. Same way, octal number system. Octal number system is also a familiar number system in digital systems and networking. It uses base 8 and it has symbols from 0 to 7, and other numbers or the remaining numbers are written in terms of these symbols. Now to convert a decimal number into octal number system, you have to go on dividing by the number by 8 and you'll have to arrange the remainders what you have got. For example, say you want to represent 210, this number in octal form. So you just have to divide this number by 8. 8 goes 26 times into 10. 2 will be the remainder then. Again, you should divide this quotient with 8. So 26 and 8 in the divide madoga 3 quotient. 8 3s are 24. So 3 is the quotient, 2 is the remainder. Then again divide this 3 by 8. 3 and 18 divide ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗುದಿಲ್ಲ. So quotient 0 ಆಗ್ತದೆ, remainder will be 3. Now you'll have to consider these reminders in reverse order from bottom to top. 3, 2, 2. So this representation will be the octal form of number 210. So ಈ ತರ represent ಮಾಡುದು. ಇದೇ ತರ binary hexadecimal number system ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು base 16 ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ, and the 16 symbols are used from 0 to 15. 0 to 9 ವರೆಗೆ numerics, 10 ನಿಂದ 15 ವರೆಗೆ ನಾವು ಆಲ್ಫಾಬೆಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಲ್ಫಾಬೆಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. 10 ಅನ್ನು ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ A, 11B, 12C and so on. So to convert a number from decimal to hexadecimal form, you just have to divide the given number by 16 and note down the remainders. So you have to go on dividing by 16 till the quotient what you have repeated division you should do till the quotient what you get will be 0. For example, you want to convert 540 into hexadecimal form. 540 ge 16 in the divide madidre quotient will be 33, remainder will be 12. 12 ಗೆ hexadecimal system alli notation C, 10 ಗೆ A, 11 ಗೆ B, 12 ಗೆ C. So I'll have to consider it as remainder 12 ಅನ್ನು C ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಈಗ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ ಕೋಶಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಇನ್ನೊಮ್ಮೆ 16 ಇಂದ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. When you divide 33 by 16, it will be 2. Remainder 1. Then quotient 2 ಅನ್ನು ಇನ್ನೊಮ್ಮೆ 16 ಇಂದ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. 2 ಅನ್ನು 16 ಇಂದ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. So quotient will be 0. Remainder will be 2. Now you consider the remainders in reverse order from bottom to top. 2, 1, C. This will be the hexadecimal representation of number 540. So this is how you convert decimal number into other number systems. Now, next is the experiment to convert. We should write the codes, Python codes to convert a decimal number into binary, octal and hexadecimal form. Now, in Python, we have inbuilt functions like bin, oct and hex to convert the given decimal number into binary form and octal form and hexadecimal form respectively. And we can use these functions to write codes in this experiment. Now, Iga, first of all, to write ಈ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಬರೀಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಾವು ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ಯಾವ ನಂಬರ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಡೆಸಿಮಲ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮಿಗೆ, ಆಕ್ಟಲ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬೈನರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮಿಗೆ, ಹೆಕ್ಸಾಡೆಸಿಮಲ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮಿಗೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Then we should convert the numbers and store it in certain variables. Then we should display those variables, right? So first our code will be, we'll have to input the value, input the decimal number, and we should store it in the variable DEC ಅಂತ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ನೇಮ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ, ನಾವು ಏನ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ, ಯಾವ ನಂಬರ್ ನಮಗೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ ಆ ನಂಬರ್ ಈ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Then I'll have to convert this into binary form. So I'll have to use binary function. Binary convert this number into binary. ಹೇಗೆ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಬೈನರಿ ಅಂತ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಯಾವ ನಂಬರ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ ಆ ನಂಬರ್ ಇದು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ನಾವು ಯಾವ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಗೆ ಅಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ ಆ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಅನ್ನು ಎಂಟರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೇಮ್ ವೇ ಫಾರ್ ಆಕ್ಟಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಹೆಕ್ಸಾಡೆಸಿಮಲ್. ಬೈನರಿ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್, ಆಕ್ಟಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್, ದೆನ್ ಹೆಕ್ಸಾಡೆಸಿಮಲ್ ಆಫ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಈ ಕೋಡ್ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಬೈನ್ ಅಥವಾ ಬಿನ್ ಆಫ್ DC, ಇನ್ ಬೈನರಿ ಅಂತ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, binary value of display, binary value of the number what we have entered will be displayed and this string will be displayed. ಅದೇ ತರ ಈ ಕೋಡ್ ಲೈನ್ ಬರ್ದಾಗ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಏನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಆಕ್ಟಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ದ ಡೆಸಿಮಲ್ or the number what we have entered and this string will be displayed. And this code line in display ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ hexadecimal value of the number what we have entered and this string will be displayed. So if you write the code in this way, the output what you get on the computer screen will be this. Print decimal value of this ಅಂತ ನಾವು code line ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೇವೆ. First ನಾವು enter the number ಅಂತ prompt ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೇವೆ. So it will prompt and the number, the user inputs the number 12. Then decimal value of 12 ಅಂತ print ಆಗ್ತದೆ as we have written the code. Then in the next line, binary value of 12 will be printed along with this sentence. So binary value of 12 is this. We have converted already. We have seen it in the last slide. It is in binary. Then in the next line, octal value of the number what we have entered is printed along with the sentence octal in octal. Ade tara last code prakara octal value of 12 and e sentence namge display ಆಗ್ತದೆ. So this is how we convert a decimal number into octal, binary and hexadecimal form using Python. I hope the contents in this video was useful to you. Thank you.